Hey, Jacob. Thank you for taking time for us. Today, we invite Jacob from Lunaris. They developed the Shopify app. It's literally, he's a pioneer for the Shopify app market. Thank you for joining us today.
No problem. Thank you for inviting me.
Great. I don't think my introduction was good enough. Could you give us some introduction to the business?
No, I think your introduction was actually pretty accurate. Yes, we are a small Shopify app developer. We started developing for Shopify in, I believe, 2016, around that time, 2017. And the reason why we started developing is because we are also, our other business needed, it's a Shopify merchant, and it needed some apps that were particular to merchants that are selling from Japan overseas, or like just doing business in Japan with Shopify. And we figured, instead of just building apps for our own that only we benefit from, why don't we put some of those apps on the Shopify App Store so more merchants can take advantage of the features we're building into those apps, and also recoup some of the development costs. And the first few apps we launched were pretty much focused on shipping, on international shipping. And then we launched Easy Points, which is a loyalty reward point program app. And as that app became very popular in Japan, we noticed that this might be a nice business opportunity. But we were really struggling with with analyzing the data and keeping track of the revenue and the signups and all these kind of things.
Great, thank you. Maybe you just answered the question, but there should be a different reason why you started using Baremetrics. What kind of problems did you have before using Baremetrics?
Problems, yeah. So yeah, the problems were that the Shopify partner dashboard is a little bit, the data is displayed maybe in a slightly confusing or like inaccurate way, and it's always difficult to quickly get an idea of what's really happening with the app and the revenue and the signups and a churn, upgrades, downgrades, all these kind of things. So as the app was growing, it became more and more difficult to figure out where we stand and where we are going and how everything is progressing. And that's when we started to look outside of Shopify for a solution, and luckily found Baremetrics.
Great. So you thought kind of the Shopify dashboard isn't good enough to run the business?
Yeah, I don't think it's okay, right? It gives you some basic information, but it's not really. It doesn't seem like it's targeted towards the business or like analytics that you might want from the business side of things, right? As a business running, selling an app or like a service as a business, it makes it, there's just not enough in there, and not enough ways to display the data in different ways and really get a good picture of what's happening across your app with all your users.
Great question, great answers. So Shopify dashboard is not for the business, but Baremetrics was. Did you find anything like any other tools, something like Baremetrics, or the Baremetrics is kind of the best tool for you?
The big benefit that Baremetrics had over a lot of the competitors was that it allowed us to quickly hook up Shopify, right? So there's obviously there's other apps out there that do similar things, but most of them wouldn't integrate with Shopify, where we just connect it quickly. 5 minutes later, the data is over there, and we already get some feedback, right? We can already look at something, and we don't have to keep going back and like exporting or importing things. It would just kind of work out of the box. And that was definitely one of the biggest features for us that we're like, okay, this is a great solution. And it also made it very easy to just try it out, because there was not like this big hurdle to overcome in the beginning to try it out and then maybe find out that it's not working, right? It's just like, again, not enough data, or like the data is not displayed in a good way. So that was fantastic, right? We found the app, we signed up, I had a call with you, I believe, right? So that was fantastic. And yeah, we were ready to use it, which was within minutes, basically. So that was fantastic.
Awesome. It's nice to hear. That's happy we had a quick integration with Shopify apps. Most of our customers are actually using Stripe, but we also got an integration with Shopify apps. So if anyone using Shopify apps, if anyone develops Shopify apps, we should definitely use Baremetrics.
I agree.
Great, thanks. But I mean, now people here know about Baremetrics, but how did you find out Baremetrics?
How did I find out? I think I specifically Googled for SaaS analytics Shopify integration or something like that, right? And I watched a talk from by Chart Mogul, which is and they seem to be some big guys overseas. And then maybe I looked for the competitors of those guys, and then yeah, Baremetrics popped up pretty right away, I would say, right?
Great.
And then it checked all the boxes, and I was like, all right, looks very promising.
Great. As I told you, we just had a slight upgrades about Shopify apps, but you've been using Shopify apps since before the upgrades happened. So to be honest, the Baremetrics Shopify apps integration wasn't perfect before upgrades, but did you find it okay?
Yeah, so two things. First of all, it was already a step up from the partners dashboard, right? So the bar was kind of low, right? So then it was already refreshing and nice to just understand and see the data a little bit better. But then the other thing is, I think that when I had some feedback or like any kind of problem, I talked to you guys, and the response time was super fast, right? So you guys were instantly on it, and yeah, helped me, or at least gave me an idea of what's going to happen next. And yeah, it just got better continuously, and I was like, okay, this is super cool. You guys are like on it, right? Continuously updating, upgrading. So yeah, it was a great experience.
Thank you for the positive comments. That's kind of honored for me as a account customer success. Thank you. Move on to the next question. What business metrics do you carefully look at?
I would say, obviously, I'm going to look at the revenue. No question, like the monthly recurring revenue.
Yeah.
And then obviously the churn rate, upgrades, downgrades, and the cancellations, right?
Great.
So lifetime value is also super good to know. Makes it easier to figure out how much you can invest to acquire new customers and these kind of things. So I feel like the churn rate, lifetime value, the recurring revenue, the monthly recurring revenue, the ones I look at the most. And then obviously the forecast. I really like the forecast.
Not many people actually say that. How do you use it for your business, the forecasting feature?
I mean, one is, I guess, motivation, right? Just seeing like, okay, this is potentially what could happen, and that allows us a little bit to plan better for how many resources do we want to add to the product, right? Do we want to hire more people, and so on and so forth? Because in the beginning, when you start out, it's not instantly clear where it could go. but then having this forecast, I feel like, oh, okay, it just seeing it, yeah, on the charts, it just it kind of confirms maybe some data you might have otherwise. So I really like it, even though obviously I don't think it's a prediction absolute, right? It's more like, yeah.
I mean, it could happen, right?
Yeah, potential prediction.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, nice feedback. People actually don't say that, but it gives you more, less pressure.
Yeah,
for your business. Great. Talking about those metrics, how often do you check it?
I would say almost every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, especially with the if you have new signups and cancellations, so it's always good to see. And then maybe you might miss a cancellation that from a big client or something. Then it's like, okay, you might want to react or just knowing that happened, and then look into it and figure out if that can be avoided next time.
Okay, so as soon as you've seen the churn or cancellation, you talk to them, like you email. That's how you react.
Yeah, I will first talk to the team, right, and then see if they can guess why or what, and then we take it from there.
Great, thanks. Move on. You might have answered these questions, but do you think Baremetrics help you grow your business?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yes, it doesn't necessarily mean that it like straight up instantly increased the revenue, but it helped me grow, or it helped us grow the business in the sense that we could, like I said earlier, we could make these decisions that then led to growing that business based on the data we collected, or rather Baremetrics collected, right? So in that sense, it absolutely helps us still grow our business.
Great, thanks. Yeah, the Baremetrics itself doesn't do anything for your business. I mean, it doesn't grow your business, but it's part of your business, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it helps us with the strategy and the planning, right?
Thanks. So you talk about forecasting. You like the feature. Is there anything else, or is there any features, or what kind of features you often use? I mean, your favorite point about Baremetrics.
So right now, unfortunately, I'm not yet using a lot of the features that you showed me as well, right? But we are currently in the process of hiring a product manager, and they seem very excited about the features. And once that person joins, I think we're going to take advantage of many of the features and really get the most out of it. So right now, I'm basically using the vanilla version of Baremetrics, and it's already good. So I think once we get into actually using all the filters and groupings and all these kind of things, we can get even more out of it. Great,
thanks. Okay, maybe that's it for the Baremetrics things. Let's talk about Shopify app things. As far as I know, the Shopify app market in Japan is pretty small. What do you think about the Shopify market, Shopify app market on your side?
I think, it's true. It is still fairly small, especially in comparison to the rest of the world. But Shopify came to Japan just a few years ago, right?
Right.
And the full localization of the app happened not too long ago. There's still new things that will make it much easier for new Shopify merchants to come onto Shopify. And if we just talk about e-commerce systems or platforms themselves, then in my opinion, both as a merchant and a developer, Shopify is still way ahead of the pack, right? So for me, it's just a matter of time. It's like if you have, let's go back to the iPhone, for example, right? The iPhone maybe wasn't as quickly adopted in Japan as at the same point in time as in the States,
Mhm.
but it was just a matter of time because it was just the smartphone idea, or like in this case, the iPhone was just such a good product. Inevitably, it became the strongest
Right.
player. Yeah, and with e-commerce, obviously, this process might take a little bit longer,
Mhm.
but I believe Shopify will become the dominant platform in Japan
Mhm.
with time, 100%. And so even though right now the market is a little bit smaller, that also means there's more opportunity, less competition. And for those people who are already on it, they can,
Mhm.
now's the time to basically establish themselves, right? So
Yeah.
if you, there's benefits and downsides to both situations, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to be the 1 millionth developer? Like if you want to launch an app on the iPhone ecosystem, it's
Mhm.
probably way harder to get recognized, etc., than it is right now in Japan on Shopify, because you have more and more Japanese merchants coming on.
Mhm.
They expect Japanese customer support. They expect Japanese way of thinking, solutions for Japanese merchants, and there's still a lot of that missing. So there's a big opportunity to come in and help those people and help them succeed. And obviously you will succeed by helping them succeed.
Yeah, I think so too. We just started hearing about Shopify like a few years ago, and it's not big yet, but there's so much potential to expand in the
Yes.
Japan market. So it's very exciting.
And it is a great platform, right?
Yeah.
So I don't see how they cannot succeed.
Yeah, great. Do you have any comments to the new Shopify business guys? Or
I mean, obviously, since we are talking, I would say like if the moment you have some level of revenue or like you might want to really look into Baremetrics and
that's the word.
and get a better idea of what's really going on, because it's to say the least, it's a bit confusing if you're only on using the Shopify partners dashboard. Yes, and the only alternative that we were thinking of is like building our own solution, but then the cost and time and everything involved with that is probably going to cost you way more than trying Baremetrics.
Thank you for the great words. That's it from us. Thank you for your great answers. I appreciate it a lot. And we hope the Shopify app market in Japan will be bigger and bigger in near future.
Me too.
You will be success, and hope more people start using Baremetrics.
Yes, I hope
thank
so
you
too.
Thank you for joining today, and we'll see you again.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.